Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel for those of you who has been following me. Thank you for your support, thank you for your comments and suggestions. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to write for rhythm section in Sibelius. Okay, but I believe this will be applicable to any music notation software that you're using. The concept, the idea would be the same. Okay, it's just if you're using Finale, for example, or if you're using Dorico or any other music notation software, the technique of doing it in the interface would be different. Yeah, would be slightly different. It won't change that much, but it's like you're using Pro Tools or Cubase. The general idea is the same. Okay, the only difference will be how you actually manipulate the user interface. Okay, so this score I did in one of my previous videos. Check it out in my previous video. We've done the layout, we've done the basic layout, we've done how to customize your layout to your liking, okay, so that you can make more attractive scores. Now today we are going to actually get into writing for the rhythm section. Okay, so I previously mentioned that the three most important parts in the rhythm section would be the piano, electric bass, and drum set. I say important, well, not in terms of the arrangement, but in terms of the preparation of your score in the master score. Okay, so you have to make sure that these three instruments is arranged like this. Again, this is not a rule. Okay, this is just my practice. I told you that I arrange my piano, electric bass, and drum set like this. So the piano is here in the middle, and then you have the electric bass underneath the piano, immediately underneath the piano, and then the drum set below the bass. Okay, above the piano, it's up to you. You can put the keyboards first or the guitar first. It doesn't matter. Okay, but the piano, bass, and drum set, this trio has to be together like this. Okay, the purpose is that so that you can see the chords here, piano B. Okay, you can see the bass line immediately under the chords. Okay, piano A is the melody, so you can check the melody and the chords. Okay, and then you can check the chords against the bass line, and then you can check the rhythm section. You can check the what's happening in the drum set. So as the conductor, as the arranger as well, this becomes the three most important reference points. Then from here you can check if you have a bigger score, if you have winds and horns and strings underneath, then you can check the chords, and then you can check voicings above. Okay, that is the main purpose of having these three guys together here. Okay, again, I remind you, this is not a rule. There's nothing wrong if you want to arrange it in any other way. Okay, but in my experience, this is an effective way when a conductor wants to check the chords, or when the music director wants to check the chords against the bass line, against the drum set. It really helps if these three are close together. Okay. Now let's go on to the piano part. We call this piano A, piano B, right? In a typical piano score, or in a specific piano score, piano B would always be bass clef, right? But this is a pop score. This is pop writing where the pianist will be reading chords. Okay, so we change piano B to become treble clef. So all the chords goes to piano B, and piano A contains all the melodies and some important lines. Okay, I think if you're looking at big band scores, if there are parts where there are attacks or punches that's happening in the brass section, then it is written in piano A as well, apart from the melody. So they put all the punches, or we call it attacks, in piano A, so that the piano has a reference of what type of melody is happening there in the horns, and the attacks or the punches that's happening there. So it becomes a reference for the pianist. Okay. Similarly, in a pop score, piano A is where we put the melody and some important lines. Okay, and piano B is where we put the chords. Okay, So let me try doing this this song. It's just 4 chords, right? So now this is how I write my score, simply because I want a reference sound. I don't have fantastic ears like my teachers do. They don't need to have reference chords here. They just put the slashes in immediately, and then they just write the chords because they've got fantastic ears. All these old timers, their way of studying, and that is actually the proper way of studying things. You know, they really practice their ears. They had no Sibelius back then, 20, 30 years ago. There was no Sibelius 40 years ago. So there was only pencil and paper. So these are the powerhouses of writing. They prepared their master scores in pencil. I've seen my teacher do it, and it's really, really, really awesome. And they've got fantastic handwriting. Their handwriting is fantastic. It's very artistic. It's very articulate. It's very, very beautiful. I have not had the opportunity to study writing. It is actually a subject, I believe, writing for master score. The technique of writing, and there's even a special pen to use. I think it's called a script pen or manuscript pen. I'm not sure. And there's a technique of writing using the pen to write beautiful scores. Yeah, and I have seen my teacher do it, and you know, it's just amazing. So imagine at that time, you know, they only had a piano or whatever instrument they are using, and then they've got their pencil and they've got the manuscript, and everything, the sound comes from their head, from their brains. So really, really, really fantastic people, you know, and I have high respects for all of them. So, and when Sibelius came about, or when music notation softwares came about, this thing becomes even easier for them. It helps them so much that they can prepare an arrangement in, you know, they can prepare a few arrangements in one day, because, you know, this technology is helping them out. So for us younger generation, you know, we lost that, unless if some of you have the opportunity to learn writing using pen and paper on your master score. That's really, really fantastic. I wish I could learn that. Okay, enough of that. Let's go to the piano part. Okay, so let me just remember how this intro goes. So that's the that. Okay, so you have a keypad here. Now this is how I arrange my layout in Sibelius. The layout, the interface of my Sibelius. So everything is here, and then my keypad is on the right hand side, or bottom right hand corner, you call it, right? Okay, so it's there. I use mouse. If you have a keyboard, if you're using an interface, if you're using a MIDI input, go ahead, you know. But I'm a click guy. I like to use the mouse to click in my notes. So again, this is personal preference. Yeah, and I've been used to this. So let's check it out. Let me first put my headphones on. I forgot to put my headphones on. Oh dear. La 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 la. What headphones are you using, by the way? You can leave a comment down below. I'm using this Audio Technica. I think it's the ATH M40X. Yeah, one of the latest one. It's a nice, really nice It's a really nice studio headset, you know. Anyway, if you can leave a comment down below, tell me what headsets are you using for your music production, or you know, for your general use. Okay, so it's plugged in. Right, so let's just do a basic thing here. Okay, minim. Okay, so I use a minor 7. Okay, so, and then you have, I'm just doing something rough, and then, that's E7 flat 9 for you, okay. I think that's the intro, right? And then, That's how it goes, right? And then it repeats itself for 2 bars. Okay, so it's a 4-bar intro. So okay, this is an example. Okay, so you have a 4-bar intro chords like that. Okay, and then what you do is, if it's the same chord, then you just press shift, and then select these 2 bars, and then click R, press R, and then it repeats itself, and then bar line, double bar, enter. Then you go into the new section. Okay, so this is the intro, and then this is the new section. Then, as I told you before, you put in the what do you call this, rehearsal mark. Okay, I'll tell you how to customize that. You can change it to bar numbers. You can change it to anything you want. And then if there's a rehearsal mark, then the bar number shouldn't be there. You can have that option as well. I'll show that to you later if I remember. Okay, so I'm just going to do one section. Yeah, maybe another 8 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Okay, just until there. Just to show you an example of how I do my parts here. Okay. Okay, so you've put in your notes. Okay. Now we put in the chords. So Control K for chords. Yeah, Control K. So it's A minor 7, and then it's caps lock. Okay, so A minor 7 over G, and then F major 7, and then E7, and then it repeats itself. Okay, so I'm just going to use the same thing. Okay, this F major 7, you can see it's highlighted in red because it's in between the bar lines. Some people, they move it like that. Okay, they just move it like that. But the danger of moving it like that, can you see I'm going to zoom in. Can you see this small, invisible dotted arrow, gray color arrow here? Okay, this tells you where this chord is attached to. Okay, so you see it moves. So if you move it too much, then it is locked to this chord. What happens is that if you print it out, then the chord actually moves like that, and it becomes very confusing to the pianist. Where's the chord? Is it at the first beat, or is it in the second beat? Yeah, so be careful with that. Okay, these are all the magnetic layouts. They call it the magnetic thing. So if you move it around, it just shows you how to just to make sure that your chords are aligned nicely. Yeah, so you use that as a reference. You can just click and drag. Okay, so look carefully that A minor 7 over G is attached to this one. So that's where I want it to be. So if this happens, okay, what I do is shift alternate, okay, shift alternate, and then you use your keypads, okay, left or right, so that you have small movements. And then it just goes there. You can see the shadow behind the F major 7. You move it until the shadow is right there, okay, just behind it. Okay, then the chord will be attached nicely there. Okay, so let's move this along. So I just repeat. Okay, repeat. Okay, then you save time. Okay, now make sure that whenever you delete a bar, okay, make sure that when you delete this bar, if you have, let's just say, if you have something like that, and then when you are deleting a bar, make sure don't leave a bar empty like that. It's not nice, or even like that. Don't. If you want to empty an entire bar, make sure you select that whole bar, okay, and you press delete. So when you do that and you have this semi-brief, this full bar rest, if it's in the middle, that means there's nothing there. That means it's empty, completely empty bar. So that when you print out your score, it doesn't look, it all looks, very uniform, very nice, okay, and very neat. Okay, again, the neatness and the tidiness of your score is very, very important. Okay, so this is the 4-bar intro. Okay, and then you have the melody. Now, again, please make sure that you include the melody. I know it is a tedious job, but that's what you have to do as an arranger, man. Okay, So okay, you have to sing that part, and then let's see how fast I can do that. So 2, 3, 4, okay. So note grouping again. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Same rhythm, right? And then something like that, right? Two, three, four, and then note grouping again, please be careful with note grouping. Okay, same thing like here, so Control C and then Control V. So copy is Control C and then Control V. If the melody is the same, or even if the rhythm is the same or notes are different, then I still copy it and then just change the notes. Yeah, saves time. Oh my god, I'm so out of tune. Something like that. Yep. That's a triplet. So if a triplet, you put in your note first, okay, whatever note for the triplet, and then Control 3, get your triplet. And then the same note again. 3, 4, and then hello. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Is it me? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Okay. Da 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 da. Yeah, roughly. Yeah, roughly. Da 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 da. Okay, let's hear how that sounds like. Okay, so check it out. Oh, what did I do wrong? Tempo. I forgot to put in the tempo. Right. Okay. So tempo shortcut is Control Alternate T. Okay, I'll do that again. Control Alternate T for tempo, and then you have a blinker there. Right click, and then choose a crotchet. Equals 65-ish. Okay, let's see how it goes. Oh, okay. I think it goes to an A7, right? Yeah. So this one goes to an A7. Okay. So reference, bass as reference. So we go like, okay, and then okay, double check. Okay, what did I tell you again before this? Always save your work. Always save. If anything were to happen here, then you lose everything. I know there's a backup score, but sometimes better be safe. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, it's more like it. wrong note there, but never mind. And then okay, forget about letter B. Let's just focus on letter A. Okay, I can finish this soon. Okay, right. So now this font is of the music notation right now is of normal size. For me, again, this is an optional thing. I've only done this recently, maybe in the past 3 or 4 years. What I do is, because this is a melody guide, so again, for appearance, I make the notes smaller, like a cue size, so that it just becomes it is to show the pianist that it is clearly a reference guide, or it's just a melody guide for him to look at. So how I do that is that you look at the keypad and then you choose this selection here. That's the rest, right? Okay. Look at here, and then you have that big note / over small notes. So I click on highlight it first, highlight this whole section here, for example, and then I click that, and then it goes smaller. Then it looks neat, right? Okay. Okay, so now see, you got your piano part done. Okay, right, now this is where it gets a bit tedious. Previously I mentioned to you about this plugin called Rhythm Section Assistant. Okay, so if you have the rhythm section assistant, it's great because you can just select this, and then where is it? Notation. Oh, sorry. Note input, plugins, composing tools. You have the rhythm section assistant there. Okay, so hide notes, rest, and most. Okay, leave this on. Okay, which one would you like to use? You normally use quarter note slashes, beats without stems. Okay, so you tick on that. Rhythmic cues on top of stuff, I normally switch this off. Okay, untick that, so I leave this quarter note slashes, right? So what it does is, when you click OK, that happens. Okay, so all these notes that were visible before, they are now invisible. It goes behind, and the only thing that appears in front is the slashes. Okay, you can still see the gray notes, right? Now this is only to tell you that there are notes behind. There are hidden notes. Okay, just so that you are reminded there are hidden notes. But when you actually print this, they won't print. It won't come out with the gray notes. It just comes out the slashes here. Okay. If this is disturbing for you, okay, if this is not visually appealing to you in your master score, in your Sibelius, you don't like to see it like I do. I don't like to see it. So what I do is view, and then you go to view, and then untick hidden objects. Okay, so you untick that, and then it disappears. Okay, so you've got clean scores. Even though it is disappeared, it is now hidden. Sorry. If you play on the bar, you can still hear the chords because the chords are hidden now. Okay, so that's how I do it. Now, if if you don't have the plugins, this is how you do it manually. Okay, this is how you do it manually. I'm going to show you. So first of all, you have to select. Okay, if you do it manually, it's going to be a bit tedious. But again, for the sake of preparing a nice and tidy and clean score, this is what you have to do. And especially if you're paid to do it, better do it, man. Okay, so you select this whole section, okay, and then Control Shift and H to hide everything. Everything disappears, right? Okay, so let's Control Z for undo. Okay, so you select everything and then Control Shift and H, right? Everything disappears, including the chords. So you don't want the chord to disappear. You just want the chords to, you just want the notes to disappear. Okay, so what you do is you go to Home, Filter, and then you choose chord symbols. Okay, now only the chord symbols are highlighted. Control Shift H again, then you have the chords there. Okay, now you go to your keypad. Make sure nothing is selected here. Okay, so make sure that you click outside in an empty space. You just click there to make sure that nothing is selected. Now select the second voice, okay, and choose crotchets, and then you write you put a crotchet note there, a B note just in the middle of the staves there, and then go to notation. Select the note head type, beams without stem, so you get that slash, and then you just R. Okay, and then if you play, it's the same thing again. Yep. Now, if you do this for the intro, for example, when the pianist sees the chords and then he just sees the slash, the first thing he asks you is, how do you want me to play this? You just want me to play the chords, or is it in a way? Is it in a particular comping? So I think in the original intro of Hello, I think it's like it's played in crotchets, right? Jang, 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 jang. So what I do is you put in a stem so that the pianist knows that, oh, okay, so these chords are played, repeated chords. You know, the chords are combed in crotchets or quarter notes. Okay, so here when it comes to the letter A, when the vocal comes in, what you can do is you can just write a simple instruction, Control T. Okay, you go like simile pattern. Pattern. Okay, simile pattern. This is what I normally do. Okay, you can put it here or you can put it here. Okay, or this is Control T, yeah? So that's staff text. So yeah, this is nice. Simile pattern, or you can just put simile. Up to you. Okay, so this tells the pianist, oh, okay, I want it to this comping is played similar to this. Okay, so he knows his thing. He knows what to do, right? So there you go. Okay, you can put it there anywhere you like. Yeah, as long as it's neat. I think it's better here. Okay, right. Yeah, that's basically it. That's how you write the piano parts. Okay. Now let's go to the electric bass. If it's not a pattern, if the bass is playing a repeated pattern when it goes, especially when we are playing pop music, there's always a repeated pattern, right? So if it's just let's say during this verse, you want the bass to play, okay? So and this is what you want the bass to play, right? Okay. So what you can do here is just same thing like what we did in the piano. So, but make sure that you copy the chords. Now I've seen people who copies one chord and then take one chord and then Control C and then you put here Control V. Oh my God, if you do that, you're going to spend the whole week just copying chords like that. You know, please don't do that. Just select this whole passage, for example, and then Control C. Oh, sorry, not Control C. select that whole passage, okay, home, filter, chord symbols, okay, Control C, okay, to copy, then you make sure you highlight that note there where you want the chords to land, and then Control V, voila, okay, and then, okay, if this is the pattern that you want the bass to play repeatedly, okay, so you can do this, but I don't want the player to unnecessarily waste time reading something that is repeated again and again and again. So rather than reading the notes, it takes a lot of time and effort to read. So let's make his life easier. So I just use the same plugin again. My God, I'm always missing that. Okay, rhythm section assistant, and then quarter note slashes, like that. Okay, so when the bass player reads the first two bars, okay, and then when he continues reading the rest of the section, he knows that this is you're asking him to play a similar pattern like the first two bars. Okay, so all he has to do is to focus on the chords, and that's it, right? Okay, so even if it's a pattern like this, okay, okay, so again, I'm just borrowing the chords. I'm giving you an example, yeah? Chord symbol. Oh, sorry, this is E. Just Control K and then E7. Just for the sake of playing an example. Okay? And then, okay, repeated pattern again. So, home filter, chord symbols, and then I just put it here and then put it here, for example. And then what I do is that if he's playing the same pattern again and again and again, so I just do that, and then same thing. So home notation, composing tool, rhythm section, quarter note slashes. Okay, so all he has to do is that, when it comes to this section, I know I have to play this pattern. So when it comes to bar 3 and bar 4, when the slashes comes in, I know, okay, it's a repeated thing. Okay, so he only has to read the chords. Okay, so and this is how it sounds like. Okay, so it saves time. It saves the we want to make it as easy as possible for the musicians to play. Okay, always put yourself in their position. Yeah, I know they can read. I know they can play well. I'm sure the person who's playing the instrument is a professional player. Okay, but whenever we can make their lives easier, please do, and they really, really appreciate it. They will love you for it. Unless if the passage is really, I told you before, you only do this when you do not when it is a repeated pattern. Okay, if there are specific lines that you need the bass player to play, like if it's a unison line, if the bass player is playing a unison with the piano, or if the bass player is playing a unison with the double bass or the cellos or whatever instrument, only then do you write the bass line specifically. Okay, but if it is a repeated pattern, okay, from letter A to letter Z, if it's just a repeated pattern, all you have to do is that every section, okay, you write 2-bar pattern, okay, and then for the rest of the section, or for the rest of the song, if the pattern is the same, okay, for the rest of the song, it is totally fine, and the bass player will really appreciate it. The bass player will love you for it if you just put the slashes here. Okay, it doesn't only give the it doesn't only save time, it doesn't it only lifts the burden of the bass player, but also creates opportunities for the bass player to show his creativity. You know, he's not going to play he's not going to play that all the time. He might play some fill-ins and whatnot. So if you put notes rather than chords in a repeated pattern, the player becomes too focused and obsessed with the notes, you see, and this hinders creativity. So if you just put the chords there and he knows, oh, this is the basic pattern, then it opens up his creative thinking, his creative skills. Then he knows, okay, then I can do this. He can do more stuff on his bass, and that's, for me, that's what I want. I don't want the player to be too strict on the reading. If the player already knows, and if I know the player, oh, this guy is fantastic, then all I have to do is just put a 1 or 2 bars pattern, and then, you know, the rest I just put slashes. He knows what to do. Okay, it goes to all the other rhythm section instruments as well. You have to remember, the rhythm section players they are modern players. Okay, so these are creative people. They like to improvise. They like freedom. Okay, they don't like to be, you know, too strict with their playing. So guitarists, pianists, keyboardists, and drummers, if you give them some freedom to play, to do their own thing, they love you for it. Okay, so that's your bass pattern. Drum patterns. Okay, so this is where this is another interesting section to write for, interesting instrument to write for, sorry. Okay, so let's look at basic pattern here. So there are only 2 voicings that we use for drums, the blue, okay, voicing 1 and voicing 2. So blue and green. Okay, so please remember this, blue is all your hands, and green is only for your foot, for your kick. Okay, so hands, blue, so everything above is your hands, so it's blue. Your kick is green. Okay, let me show you. This is okay, notation, then cross. Okay. Oh, I don't like that sound. What's going on there? Drums. What is it using? Orchestra. Oh, okay. So let's use drum set rock. Okay, M. What I did was I pressed M. The mixer comes out. Okay, and then you bring this up. Okay, until you can see this instruments here. Okay, and then DR is drum. So you just choose. I'm using Note Performer. That's why it sounds cool. Okay, so that's rock. Okay, Note Performer is a lifesaver. It sounds fantastic. Now it sounds better. Okay, so these are your hands. Okay, these are, you know, for hands. And then make sure you're not selecting anything here. Just double click, and then okay, if this is yeah. Okay, just giving a right. So this is a basic. Now I know I've seen a lot of people doing this. I did this before. Don't worry about it. Okay, I've done this before. Okay. So if the drummer sees this, and it's a repeated pattern, again, the same idea with the bass player. Imagine if he sees this for the entire song. Let's just do this. For example, I'm just pressing R and, okay, let's look at the drum parts. Zoom in. That's painful to read. You know, it's a repeated pattern from letter A until forever. Okay, 144 bars rest. 144 bar rest. Oh, okay. This is painful, and it is really unnecessary for you to ask the drummer to read. The drummer can read, don't worry. You know, if it's a professional drummer, if he's playing in an orchestra, 95% confirm that he will be able to read notes. But please, just because of that, don't take it for granted. If you can make life easier for the drummer, please make the drummer's life easier. He will kiss you, he will love you for it. Okay, he or she will love you for it. Okay, so again, the same idea, the same concept. Let's cancel that. Okay, I just press the plus button here, okay, to get to see individual parts. So when you press that plus button there, you can check your parts. Okay, like say for piano part. You see, that's a nice piano part, right? Okay. So X, cancel, right? Oh, where is it just now? Okay. So what you do is, again, 2-bar pattern, okay? The rest of the drum parts, for example, okay? Where did I? Okay, I pressed R too much. Delete. Okay. Now 2-bar pattern. Okay, let's look until the whole of letter A. This is letter B. Control R. Okay. So letter A, say for example, we want this pattern to be played. So all you have to do is, okay, not using the plugins. All you have to do is this repeated sign. Okay, a repeat pattern. Or click on that, okay, and that comes up, right? Okay. Now press play. Okay, so you don't have to, press R. All you have to do is just 2 bars of pattern, okay, and then the rest you just have to use this, okay, the symbol. Okay, I think it's a repeated pattern symbol, right? Okay, and then you just have to use that. Okay. And look at the score. You see? So what the drummer has to do now is only to count the bars. And counting the bars is much easier than reading repeated patterns. Okay? And it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of effort. So the drummer doesn't have to worry about, okay, if you write repeated patterns, then you're forcing the drummer to read because he's not sure that there might be a change in patterns and whatnot, you see. So if he sees this, then he knows, oh, okay, this is the main pattern and I have to play it for 8 bars, for example. Okay, and it makes his life easier, right? Okay, so that's how you write for drums. Again, blue, okay, for hands, green for kick. That is how you write for drums. Sometimes I see the hands and the kick together. No. You want the drummer to see clearly. Okay, kick pattern is like this, hand pattern is like that. That's why the beams, okay, for hands are going up and then for kick is going down. Okay, that's why you have 2 voices. That is the purpose of having 2 voices, using 2 voices for the drum patterns. Yeah, very, very important. Now let's go to the guitar parts. Okay. The idea is the same. If you have any specific lines for the guitarist to play, okay, then you write it out. If the guitarist is merely playing the chords, okay, sometimes what we do is that we give the piano part to the guitar because there's no specific guitar parts and the guitar is merely backing up with chords, so we give the piano parts to the guitar. But if in an orchestral setting, if the arranger has the time, or if the guitar has specific parts, then we'll give, then we write out the parts for the guitar. Sometimes even if if I don't require, if there are two guitars, if you're using two guitars, but I do not require two parts, that means the guitarist can share the same part. So I just use guitar 1, 2. Okay. When you have two guitarists, they will sit together and they'll discuss how they're going to play. If you have specific lines, only then you write it out in the parts. Okay. If not, right. For me, I do not require to put any chords in the guitar. Okay, because I already have the chords sounding in the piano. Okay, so what I do is just simply again using that same idea of putting slashes. Okay, can select the whole bar even. Okay, and what I do is just copy the parts here. Okay, I just want the chords. Okay, so home, filter, chord symbols, Control C. And then we have this problem again. Okay, so we go to text and then chord symbols. Yeah, let me check that out. No, it's not that one. I know there's a I think it's here. Engraving rules. Yes. Chord symbols. Okay, yeah, correct. This is where you go to appearance and you go to engraving rules. You go to chord symbols. Okay, appearance, show by default. Okay, this is where you change things. Chord text and diagrams. No, chord text only. Okay, let me cancel that. Okay, let me show you again. Okay, so appearance tab, engraving rules. Okay, chord text only. Okay, at the appearance box here, chord text only. And then, yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's say, for example, I want the guitar to play something here. So, say I want him to play. Okay, let's say for example, I want the guitarist to play something like that. Then, like the piano part, okay, you just put here simulate pattern. Okay, again, the guitarist might not. I'll put the chords as well. Okay, home, filter, chord symbols. Okay, Control C, and paste it there. Okay, if I want the guitarist to play something like this, but okay, again, if you're not a guitarist, if you're not a pianist, if you're not a bass player, if you're not a drummer, they know the instrument better, and they know what voicings to use better. They know what sounds better for a particular phrase, for example. So these notes might not be suitable, might not be the best, but if you put it out like this, then they have an idea. Okay, you want me to play, I call this broken chords. You want me to play it like this. Okay, I think I'm going to use these notes instead. Okay, I think I'm going to use different notes instead, following the chords. But the idea is there. Okay, if you want the guitarist to play exactly like this, okay, then the normal instruction will be play as is. Okay, then the guitarist is not going to ask you any questions. He's going to play exactly the notes there. But if it's just a matter of, or I want you to play something like that, okay, let's hear it out. Okay, so if you want the guitarist to play again, I'll play it for you. Okay, so if you want the guitarist to play exactly like that, then you put that instruction just now, play as is. Oh, sorry. Play as is. If you want him to play this kind of pattern, but his choice of notes, which is, I think, better, okay, then you don't have to put it like that. Then if you're there during rehearsal, hey bro, you can choose your own. You can choose your own notes. I just want you to play that kind of pattern. But if you have better notes to choose from, go ahead. Yeah. So he listened to the pianist. He listened to the second guitar or the first guitar, and then then he might choose. He might change the notes. But don't worry, he knows what he's doing. Okay. So again, this is how you prepare your parts. Right. So I hope this is helpful. Okay. I hope you have an idea of how to prepare your rhythm section parts. Again, always aim to make the lives of your musicians easier. Okay, remember that again, this is not the only score that they are playing. Okay, there might be more scores. They have a long rehearsal hours. Okay, they have to check other scores. There might be mistakes, there might be changes that they have to do. So our job as an arranger is to put ourselves in their position. And if we are musicians, if we are performers as well, like myself, I am not just an arranger, I also play the bass. So we always have to put ourselves in that position. Okay, what is it that makes it easier for them to play? Okay, and if you can provide with them a score that is clean and neat, and it gives them opportunity to express their creativity, they will appreciate you, they will remember you for it, and you will go a long way. Okay, so what do you think of this video? If you find it interesting, if it's useful for you, please please subscribe to my channel. Please share this video and please leave a comment down below. And if you have any questions, again, please leave a comment down below. I will have a look at them, and then I'll answer them for you. Okay, guys, until next time, take care and have a nice day. Goodbye.